Yes, everyone, good morning. My name's Stephen Howson. This is 5 things that we learned watching United lose. That's what it felt like. 2-2 to Southampton. First thing then is shocking second half. Manchester United shown some brilliant resilience in the first half, created some fantastic chances, went behind, got our noses back in front. Fantastic. Honestly, the vibe at half-time, we're mint. This is absolutely mega. I can't wait for the second half. Kill the game off. 3 points, third, you know the drill. That's not what happened. The stats from the second half were just shocking. 3 shots, 0 on target, only 1 big chance, 124 completed passes, only 39 of those in the opposition final third, 5 crosses. Now in comparison, we completely allowed Southampton into the game and they dominated the game and they rightly deserved their goal in the end. 7 shots, 3 on target, obviously that was more, 1 big chance, 214 completed passes, 60 in the final third, nearly double what we had, 13 crosses, more, and obviously a goal, which we didn't get. I don't know what happened. I can't pinpoint one massive decision by a player, one massive decision by Ole, one incident in the game. For me, it seemed like just a catalogue of ordinariness led to us just being a bit shit in the second half. Really hard to pinpoint. They pressed fantastic. Let's not take anything away from Southampton. They pressed well, and we couldn't really fucking deal with that very well. Number 2, tired legs. First time since 1993 that we've seen 5 consecutive starting 11s the same. Since January, February 1993, when we were chasing our first league title in 26 years. And I think we've overplayed them. And you can pinpoint that on the manager if you want. And I think you might have a point if you do. I certainly wouldn't disagree with you. But I also think, on the other hand, Ollie found a formula that was very clearly working. But I've been warning about this. We were saying 2 games ago, look at how many games. We've got 7 games. Clearly he's not going to play the same team for all 7 games, or is he? Pogba came off after the 60th minute. Matic looked shattered. Bruno and Pogba both were shadows of themselves, but I don't know if that was because of how well Southampton pressed and how much they cut off the supply lines. They forced United to go longer. They forced United to stop being able to play through our playmakers in the middle of the park. Matic has been fantastic getting on the ball. Did they target Matic? Again, this is going to have to be something when I watch the game later today, but did they target Matic and cut the supply to the other midfielders? If they did, it's very smart. And if they did, it's also a big worry for United, because if we can't move it to our creative players via Matic, then we've got a problem. Then we've got a weakness. Then we've got something that other teams are going to target, and that's not good. It's very easy with hindsight to say, oh, we should have rotated. And I'm sure loads of people, you know, loads, all saying that all online at the moment. And I think it's also very easy when you're winning to say, oh, don't change your winning team. I see that fucking loads as well. I would always say, what's my best available 11 at the moment for this particular job? And I've been hoping for rotations all the way through this, to be honest with you. And I think that the players coming out of lockdown, I don't know what's going on in training. I don't know how hard he's working them. I can only imagine they're just recovery tactics, recovery tactics, recovery tactics. I imagine there's fuck all fitness work being done, just trying to get through to the end of the season. And that's fine. That's very normal in a professional football club environment, especially when it's competing on multiple fronts, playing multiple games every single week. But we look tired. Now, I don't know if that was because we looked tired because of the way Southampton forced us into playing, or if we're just genuinely tired. But it's a worrying sign for what is the biggest week of Manchester United's season. Number 3, Bruno Creates again. Water is wet. Bruno Fernandes gets an assist. Since Bruno Fernandes has made his Premier League debut, Anthony Martial has scored 8 goals, which is the most for anybody in the Premier League, and Bruno Fernandes is getting assists, the most in the Premier League. Bruno to Martial has become a well-trodden path in terms of an assist this season for Manchester United, post-January, and it's something that we found extremely fruitful in that time. We still found that against Southampton last night, but ultimately it wasn't enough. We only saw Bruno Fernandes on the ball a third as much as you would want him to be on, or at least half as much as you would want him to be on the ball if he was on top and controlling the game and having him pulling the strings. I said in my fan count to Makola last night on Stretford Paddock, there's going to be loads of games where people properly lose their rag with Bruno Fernandes. I remember it with Ronaldo. Someone who's ultimately creative and ultimately going to be scoring you tons and tons of goals and getting you assists. They're going to have games where none of that comes off. I mean, even last night it did come off for Bruno, but I've seen loads of people saying, worst game in a United shirt. That's going to happen a lot because that's what happens with those creative players. When it's good, it's very, very good. And when it's bad, you're pulling your hair out with them because you think that they're not working hard enough, not tracking back, not putting in the dirty work. They're there as a creative outlet, and sometimes they have to be allowed to be that creative outlet. Bruno Fernandes is the club's top assister with 7 assists. He's played 11 fucking games. We've got a real gem, and I can't wait to see what he's like with a full pre-season. Although, what the fuck is a full pre-season? We're going to get about a fortnight, if that, aren't we, post-Europa before the new league starts. I can't wait to see what he's like when he fully settles into this football team and what we're like going into a season fresh, if that's a thing. Even when he's not at his best, Bruno Fernandes still produces, and that is the mark of a fucking good player. Number 4, Magic Martial. Anthony Martial has scored his 50th Premier League goal for Manchester United, becoming only the 10th player to do so and only the second Frenchman after a certain Eric Cantona. Man of the match, I thought, last night against Southampton, Tony Marshall. His goal especially. His goal was such single-minded determination to score. There was excellent link-up play with him and Marcus Rashford. The one that Marcus hit at the goalkeeper's foot, that was some excellent link-up play. And I believe they've now assisted each other more than any other partnership that United have had. That's fucking mint. So that means they were... Do you remember that chemistry that York and Cole had? This is better. And when you consider that they've pretty much missed half of the season of playing together, that gives a lot of encouragement for going forward for United fans. If we had Jadon Sancho as the third musketeer over on that right wing, and you've got Mason Greenwood who can slot in any of those free roles and also be the guy that turns up and plays in the League Cup, coming off the bench every 60th minute, you've got a phenomenal lineup there of players that, and Mason Greenwood could take any one of those spots eventually, and that's what's exciting, I think. But last night, Martial against Southampton, here's his stats: 94% pass accuracy, 5 successful take-ons, 4 shots, 2 of which on target, 4 ball recoveries, 2 big chances created, 1 assist, 1 goal. Can't argue with that. And yes, he had the opportunity where he made the keeper pull out a really good save, but I'm not going to dig him out for that. Probably should have scored, but it was on target. The keeper saved it. Sound. And number 5, Rashford's return. Yes, we've seen him score from the penalty spot, but it was really good to see him score from open play, and he probably should have added more to it than that as well. He was creative. Probably didn't take enough shots, but he did have an opportunity that he probably should have converted, and maybe that might have been the difference with getting the 1 point and getting the 3 points. That's his 16th Premier League goal this season, 21 in all competitions. In terms of what that means for him across Europe, in the under-23 bracket, which is a bracket everyone likes to throw up, only Jadon Sancho and Kylian Mbappe have got more goals than him. Puts him right up there in that bracket with him. Marcus's return from injury in the Premier League has also seen him pull up a new stat, which is he's making more passes from outside to inside the box than anybody else except Kevin De Bruyne, who's pretty good at doing that. I think Marcus's playmaking ability has been hammed up a little bit. What you get out of Greenwood is quite a direct, and to be honest, this isn't a dig, this is what you want your youngsters to be doing when they're learning their trade, is to be very single-minded and greedy and all out for themselves. Mason's very good at that, and you will see the playmaking side develop of him as he grows, but what Rashford has taken on is a more playmaking role from that left-hand side. You're seeing those underlaps from Luke Shaw, that's deliberate. And you're seeing then people hopefully taken away from Marcus so he can start playing some balls into the box a little bit more. And do you know what? He's doing all right with them. He's got a handful of assists. I think he's going to finish with about 10 assists, I imagine, for the season, which, when you add it, he's got 21 plus goals, is a fantastic return for any player, especially when he's been out with a fucking broken back for a few months. So if we're taking any positives out of today's game, Tony Marshall, top. Bruno Fernandes, top when he's not top. Marcus Rashford, back amongst the goals with a fantastic finish with his left foot as well, I think. Was it his left foot? Feels like it was left foot. Probably wasn't. Fuck it. Yeah, it was his left foot. It was one of his feet. And you know what? We are 5th. We're level on points. It's still in our hands, even though it feels like a defeat. I'm fucking wounded, ladies and gentlemen. But we push on, don't we? Back again. out for the rest of the week now. We're doing a preview tomorrow for the game on Thursday night. Make sure to tune in because we have to get 3 points against Crystal Palace. Laters.